Hello everyone, this is Meshi from Align Plans. Let's talk about Traveler's Notebook since it's planner season still, and I know that the new releases are going to be coming out from Traveler's Notebook, and you might be wondering, what are some of the inserts and accessories that are actually worth it, and what is something that we can absolutely skip out on? So that's exactly what we have lined up for you today. We're going to break a few things down into a few categories. We're going to look at accessories. We're going to break things down into size, so for both the passport as well as the regular size. I'm going to give you some recommendations of some of the partner stores that I think would be worth at least checking out if you want something unique. And we're going to break things down into decor and how you can accessorize your TN if that's what you want to do, but how you can also make it functional. So if all of that sounds great, then let's not waste any more time. Let's just get started. So the first category that I really wanted to get started with is truly just accessories, the things you can add into your traveler's notebook that will make a difference, that will help you kind of stay functional, that I have found personally that have made a difference in the day-to-day operations as I'm using these planners. And just a quick reference, I have a passport size in camel, and I newly bought, this is a new addition to my collection, this is a regular size in olive. So this is my main driver, this is what I use as my main planner. And the passport size, I actually have this as an on-the-go system. So let's talk first a little bit about what are some of the accessories that I think that actually make the cut for me. So I have to start with all of the little things that you can actually buy from Midori or from Traveler's Notebook, and that has to do with clips. So I have the original Traveler's Notebook clip. This is what it looks like. This is a brass clip. I also have the little money clip. This is the Superior Labor collaboration that they have done. So it's more like a money clip. And then I also bought, I believe this is from Penco. I will double check the name of the company, but I have this little clamp thing as well. If you're finding videos like this helpful and useful, please make sure that you subscribe to the channel. And then let's get back onto the next accessory that I think is worth it. Now, I would highly, highly recommend these two for sure. I tend to use this mainly whenever I want to kind of clamp down the side of my page. So I don't necessarily use it up top here to clamp everything down. I sometimes just use it on the side so that it keeps the pages together. It's rare that I use this, but sometimes, like if I have it on my desk, I just kind of reach for it. The main one, I use this pretty regularly because what I generally tend to do is at the spine, I usually just clip everything down, and then that way it lays flat, which I know for a lot of you, this has always been a complaint. For me, it's not that big of a deal because if this doesn't really want to lay flat, I usually just kind of remove the booklet and then everything lays flat anyway. But if I don't feel like removing it, then, you know, I usually just make it work. So it hasn't really been like this massive issue for me. The other accessory that I tend to use pretty regularly is this money clip. I tend to actually just leave it here at the front. And then whenever something is going on, I usually just kind of clip against it. Or I've also added this into my pen case, which seems to be upside down right now. So I've also added it in here as well. And then again, I can just kind of clip in like anything I want. So if I want to add in a little decor, I could. And it looks so cute. So I really like this because it's sturdy enough, but it's also like really functional. Now, the other thing that I have been using quite regularly that is like a pretty big staple for me is actually the stencil that Midori makes. I didn't buy the one with the numbers, but I bought the one with the letters. So I have the full alphabet here. Midori does give you this little cut-in that you can just add right into your inserts. And it's kind of funny because like they make it small enough so that, you know, you can literally just use it like a bookmark if you want to. And it's kind of cool because then it just kind of pops up a little bit, but it's not so obvious that it's in the way. Again, I don't leave it in my TN. I actually tend to just put it in the pocket here. in my pen case. And then that way it's nice and secure, it doesn't get lost, and I'm pretty good to go with that. Other things that are like super, super helpful when it comes to just like the daily operation of having the TN is actually, so I have these and I kind of wanted to talk about it, and then I'll show you like what else you can use. But I have these tiny little flags. These are from, I believe these are called these are from Field Notes. These are the tin of darts from Field Notes. These are like these small little pointy paper clips. I like these, but I also, so this is one option. And then the other option is, and I knew that it has reminded me of something. And sure enough, it has reminded me after 20 minutes of looking for it. So the other one that I have that's also great, and you can use this as an index, is the one from Midori, for obvious reasons, because they're tiny, and then it has like a little cutout, or it has like a little raised edge that kind of shows you like where you are on your page. I love these because I usually just use a couple of these so that I can mark where I'm at. But in case I can't find this, then the one from Field Notes is also excellent. I have tried these little guys. They are just normal paper clips. It's not too bad. These, the ones from cloth and paper, I generally don't tend to reach for. I find them way too difficult to maneuver, so I just kind of leave them there. But I really love like these smaller index clips, just because they're small but they're flexible, so you can kind of maneuver them a little bit easier. So I would highly recommend these. Now let's talk about things that you can actually put into your traveler's notebook that I also think are worth it. And that is sticky notes. But so I kind of swing back and forth between like these decorative sticky notes. So I have a whole bunch of them from Deli, because there's a store close to me and they have them for like $2, $3. So I usually just kind of stock up and get a few of them. So these are just the ones that I tend to reach for, just because they're inexpensive. They actually show up. They're easy to write on. But I also have a few from, no, so yeah, these are usually the ones that I like to focus on when it comes to just using it in my traveler's notebook. I tend to not reach for like the minimalist planning one that I have from Paper Plus Cloth or May Paper Co., because a lot of times like that style kind of clashes with the style that I have here with the traveler's notebook. But these are usually really easy to grab onto, and you know, they're really helpful. Let's talk a little bit about, still staying with the accessories, I wanted to mention some of the pens and extra accessories that I tend to utilize. Some of the pens, like some of my absolute favorite pens to utilize here, have to be the Pilot Kakuno, which I mentioned multiple times. I also really love using my Sailor. So this is the Pro Gear Slim. And then I also really, really love using this gel pen. This one is this is the Pentel Energel in 0.5. You've probably seen me use this multiple times, and with the Midori paper, it's wonderful. And then I also have like a little scissor, which always comes in handy to organize all of that. I mean, this is not really like traveler's notebook specific, but just in general, speaking of the traveler's notebook, I love using my Delphonics bag, only because I can kind of put everything here. And then both the passport size fits in there without any issues, as well as the regular size. But this, I think, is one of those planner like staples that this bag would pretty much work with anything. I've actually done like a full what's in my bag video. If you wanted to see the full like unboxing type of video where I kind of go more into detail, I would just put it into the cart, so you can check that video out. But as far as pens are concerned, like my biggest preference though is, as much as I love using the Pilot Kakuno and the Sailor for like long format writing, I tend to use these actually in the regular TN. And then for my little on-the-go system, I 100% prefer using my Kaweco, only because a lot of them have the little clip. And then it's like your perfect little, it's like your perfect little companion, and you don't really have to think about it. It's such a, to me, it's such a no-brainer. So I really love kind of combining these two together. Inserts and just extra accessories. The only two like actual accessories that I still wanted to mention here, one of them is these small little tabs. And again, I've actually used these tabs for both Hobonichi as well as the TN. It's really easy to place. So these are the numbered ones if you wanted to number your months, which I have done in my previous like monthly and in my weekly. Actually, I haven't done it with this new one just because I honestly I didn't bother with it, but I really love using these and I've had these for years. And I obviously have to mention dot stickers. If I can get you to buy one thing, it would have to be dot stickers, just because they're so versatile. As you can tell, I'm down to the last bit of it, but I love the dot stickers from here, the ones that come in a roll. And I also like the individual ones that you can just get a sheet of it and then you're kind of good to go. So that's it for like what can you put on the outside. Now let's talk a little bit about inserts and what can you put on the inside. So glad you asked. And this is mainly going to be very heavily weighed on the Traveler's Notebook, the Traveler's Company brand, just because I bought a lot of their stuff and I wanted to mention which one was actually like worth it. So let's talk about first the passport size. And some of this I actually don't have in my planner just because I kind of swapped it out and I use them interchangeably. But let's talk about like the plastic little insert. So this is basically a sleeve where you have two card holders here, and then you have like a plastic like zip up pouch on the end. I kind of love this, and I love this a little bit more than I also have their craft folder. I like the craft folder with the secretary pocket, but honestly, my issue with this is, as you can tell, as soon as you start using it regularly, then the edges will begin to fray. So this is a very temporary solution in my book. Like you can probably get away with about a year, maybe two, probably not anything further. So hence why I pulled this out. Now, I don't use this anymore because currently, if you look what's in my current setup, I actually have a wallet. So that kind of serves a really similar purpose to that. I will talk to you about the wallet in a moment, but I love this because honestly, I do have the I do have the same version of it here in the regular size as well. And I have a pocket on the large one. You get a pocket on the outside and a pocket on the inner side as well. So I usually just load it up with a bunch of stickers and we're good to go. And then in the back, again, I love that I can close this. Now, having said all of that, I will talk to you about what I've actually put onto my wish list that I would like to add to my collection. But as far as functionality is concerned, this is inexpensive, and I think it really serves a great purpose if you wanted to just kind of like tuck things in there as a reminder. And hence why I have it in both sizes. The other thing that I find super helpful is actually these guys. These are sort of like these little sleeved inserts, and I have both of them. This one is the Coffee and Notebooks edition, and this one is the Love and Trip. So this is what came with the 2025 theme. And then this one was just sort of like just like a little collaboration or like a little series that they have released midway through the year. So I tend to use both of them pretty heavily because it holds quite a bit. So currently I just shove in, you know, stickers, small icon stickers, literally anything and everything that I think I would end up using on a regular spread. I end up just throwing in there and without feeling like I have to organize it all. And I want it to be accessible. So that was sort of the thing that like, if I keep it like small size like this, I can pretty much throw anything and everything in there. And I don't ever have to worry that it will fall out. I usually just kind of put it in between two inserts and you're good to go. Mind you, sometimes I forget to use the small one because I also have an insert that has a sticker release paper. So sometimes if I have like too much happening here, I just transfer them here, basically. Large one, I absolutely use really regularly. I don't really like using any of the other ones that I have tried that were similar, and it holds up really well. Like look how much you can add in there. Like it's tons and tons and tons. You can do so many different spreads with this. So, you know, if you can pick this up, I would 100% add this to your shopping list. If you're looking at the 2026 release and you've seen like the sticker set from Traveler's Notebook, let me just say this. I have it, and it's probably the most functional like sticker set that I have ever bought. And I didn't even use everything. Like there's so much in here. So first of all, you have like these large sticker sets that are both ideal for decorating your passport as well as your regular TN. You get a whole bunch of dot stickers, which I always forget about this. So like I need to literally set this aside. So I put it into my rotation. You have like these stamp-like stickers, little booklet, small icons, alphabet so that you can write out whatever you want on each of your inserts, which is so cute. And then you actually have the monthly tabs. So even if you don't have the tabs that I showed you earlier, they actually give you like all the monthly tabs so that you can, you know, just tab it up. This was an interesting one. These are stickers that become pockets and you can put them on the back of your insert. If I have one of them that I can show you. Yes, so here's an example of that. This is the first part of the year. And so it just kind of goes on like a normal sticker, but then if you wanted to, mind you, like, I think it's kind of gimmicky, but whatever. Because it becomes such a pain for me to literally put anything in here. It's so funny. There you go. So again, I don't use this, but I think it looks really cute. If you're thinking like, will I need the elastics and the elastics? I tend to not use this unless like one of these are like broken. Don't worry about this. These larger stickers, like these larger elastics, they are great, but I also think that they're super overpriced for what you're paying for, in my opinion. I have used, you can buy similar ones. I bought one that had like these pink, like thick elastics, and you can just get them at like a general store. And like if you can pick those up, then that will help you. I have this, but I don't really use this. I personally wouldn't highly recommend it just because I don't think that you really need this. Unless there's like a definite need where you don't have access to elastics, I would skip this. Now, as far as inserts are concerned, inserts are like a whole different conversation for me because certain inserts are here in my planner for the purpose of really just making my life easier and kind of keeping me on track. So that would be like my normal weekly. So I bought the dated weekly, but before I did, I actually bought the undated weekly as well. So here's the undated version of it. And oh no, never mind. This is the previous booklet for this. I have the undated version and I liked it the same. It was very helpful. I did not use the monthly. I would skip the monthly unless there's a specific need for you to get the monthly. I wouldn't worry about the monthly. Weekly, very helpful. Sticker release insert, very, very helpful. If you're going to be adding stickers into your planner, I would actually pick this up because you're likely going to use them. And as far as like the little dot, if you want like a dot grid notebook, my two recommendations for you for that would be either Muji, which is on the lower end of the spectrum. It has like a very basic cover, high quality insert. I don't have any issues with it. I will always use these. Or I would actually go with the Yamamoto paper. You can get this, and they have like a bunch of different designs, which is why I really love them. So each of them kind of look different. Can you tell? Like every time that this is available, I always kind of stock up so that I'm good to go. But you can get this from Stationery Selection. So Mitts from Stationery Selection sell these. You can also get them from just from general stationery stores. But I bought mine. I bought a whole stack of them from Stationery Selection. I've also sometimes used field notes as an insert, but as you can tell, it doesn't fit nearly as well. So this is sort of like last resort, or I have this as an accessory in case I need it. But mainly the inserts that I go for are usually these ones. For larger size, for the regular size ones, what I wanted to mention that would make a difference, again, I'm going to stick with the same, like the weekly. I obviously think that the 005 from TN, the daily diary, is 100% worth every penny. I think that if you love doing daily journaling or daily planning, this would be your best companion. If you want daily journaling, however, I would actually steer you towards Bumkuan. And for Bumkuan, I kind of wanted to do a quick little like shout out because I do have quite a few of their inserts. So a while ago, I bought their weekly and I was using this pretty religiously last year. The layout on the weekly is so different than what you get from the regular TN weekly. So I'll just show you. First of all, they use, I believe this is Tomoe River paper. I will double check their website just to be on the safe side. But here you have these sections for each day. It is not dated, which will make sure that it's flexible enough for you. And then you have like this whole 3/4 of a page where you can use it for whatever you want. So this layout was working for me for quite some time. I love that I could add like large decor if I wanted to. So, you know, this was, or I can keep it very minimal, which is what I've done here. And then I have to say though, I've gotten so used to the weekly layout here that I definitely have a preference for it. But if you just wanted something different, then I think that the one from Bumkuan would be really wonderful. Here's just a couple of the ones that I've done recently. So that's it on inserts there. If you're looking for something really unique though, go back to Bumkuan because I mentioned the weekly and I'm mentioning now, and I still have this in my planner, is their grid insert. The grid insert is basically just a normal grid insert, but I use that for more like decorative and collage type of journaling. I tried using this as a daily planner and it was just really not working for me. So now I'm just sticking with just this style of journaling where like there's some decor and then I kind of write around it. So love the paper. If you love Tomoe River paper, you would really love this insert because it's thick, but the paper is very smooth and very thin. But they give you enough pages where you can kind of enjoy it for a while. One thing that they have done that is very unique, besides the weekly, just kind of changing the layout there, is actually this insert. And as you can tell, I've had this since like 2022, and it's called Moment. It's like the most unique insert you will see because this is printed on like this clear paper, and each page has like this decoration of, basically it's the cherry blossom falling. That's what it represents. And as you can tell, like I've done some journaling here, not a ton. It's definitely a different way for me to journal, so I don't always reach for this insert. But if I want really unique way of capturing memories, then this would be the insert that I would reach for. So I just wanted to kind of mention that in case you're on the market for something unique and different and creative, then I think that this would be right up your alley. And this is through Bumkuan, and it's their own design for Traveler's Notebook. Now, as far as extra things that you can use that I think would be worth it, would obviously have to do with the Superior Labor Company, but also I would like to mention an insert that you can also get from 161. I think that this is actually upside down. So it's called 161 Soft Goods. So this is their leather insert. If you want a leather wallet insert, I would recommend this. Plus keep in mind that like I've been wanting to get the fabric version of this that the Superior Labor did with Bumkuan. I would just pop a picture here. It's still on my wish list, but for me it's redundant for me to buy that and have this. I'm either going to have a leather the leather one, or I'm not going to double up. It just doesn't make any sense. But for the regular size, they have actually been sold out of that insert that kind of doubles as something that kind of holds your things and your stickers, as well as, you know, as well as it doubles as a wallet. So, but keep in mind that if you love more of a canvas look and you don't want leather in there, then I would also recommend the Traveler's Notebook canvas insert. And I'm going to be actually adding that to my wish list for both the passport size as well as the regular size, because I think that it's inexpensive enough where you're not spending, you know, the prices that you would pay for like a leather wallet insert. But at the same time, it's canvas, so it's going to last a lot longer than, let's say, you know, like cardboard. So now we've gone through, I feel like pretty much everything. We've kind of gone on a little roller coaster of the different categories. Here's your question of the day. I would love to know, what is your #1 favorite accessory that you have used for your traveler's notebook? Comment below, let me know. I would love to hear from you. And that will also actually allow me to kind of take a look at, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I can try something new. And this is basically what I have for you. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up. You can subscribe and support the channel that way. But in the meanwhile, just keep planning, keep journaling, keep doing all the things. And I cannot wait to see you in my next video. Bye.